Alright, in this video we are going to be discussing example of Intext question 2.10. So the boiling point of water at 750 mmHg or 750 millimeters of mercury is 99.63 Celsius. How much sucrose is to be added to water at to 500 grams of water such that it boils at 100 degrees Celsius. So we need to figure out the amount of sucrose that needs to be added to water. Now let's write down the things that are given to us. We've been given the boiling point of water, which is TB is equal to 99.63 degrees Celsius. TB naught, oh, actually, sorry, this is TB naught. TB equals to 100 degrees Celsius, okay, because the elevation of boiling point. So first of all, if you notice, the units over here is in Celsius. We cannot use this because if you think about it, the value of Kf, Kb, which we will definitely use for this particular question, is for water is Kb equals to 0.52 Kelvin kilogram per mole. And you cannot cancel Kelvin and Celsius. Not going to work. So we are going to first convert the TB naught and TB from Celsius to Kelvin. Okay. And then figure out, go from there. Okay. So TB naught in Kelvin is going to be 99.63 plus 373.15 Kelvin. And that is 273. I am so sorry. I don't know what is up, but okay, sorry. 273.15 Kelvin. So that is equal to 372.78 Kelvin. TB equals to 100 plus 273.15 Kelvin. That's equal to 373.15 Kelvin. Now you might be wondering, okay, what are we going to do next? We're going to be calculating the value of delta TB. Okay, so essentially what they're asking here is the mass of sucrose is how much. This is what we need to find. Okay, so we are going to be using the number of the molar mass equation using the elevation of boiling point and calculate the value of W2. So essentially we know that M2 will be equal to Kb into 1000 into W2 divided by delta TB into W1. And we can calculate the value of delta TB, or we have to calculate the value of delta TB and M2, and then we can use this equation to find out the value of W2. That is what we're going to be doing right now. So delta TB equals to TB minus TB naught. So that is equal to 373.15 Kelvin minus 372.78 Kelvin. And that is equal to 0.37 Kelvin. Okay, now you might be like, okay, listen, we just literally added this and subtracted the same value. It's just about the units. You got to get the units correct. If you did not have, if you had 0.37 Celsius over here, you would have just not known what to do after that. And definitely adding 273 at that point would have been bad. So we are just converting and we got our delta TB in Kelvin and not in Celsius. Okay, the next one is calculation of M2. M2, first of all, we know the, I'm assuming we do, the formula of sucrose is C12H22O11. Okay, so sucrose is C12H22O11. So we can calculate the molar mass of sucrose. So 12 into 12 plus 22 into 1 plus 11 into 16. So this gives us 144 plus 22 plus 176, and that is equal to 342 grams per mole. That's the molar mass. So using all of these values, we can actually calculate the value of W2. So first, let's write the equation for W2. So W2 will be equal to delta TB into W1, which is the mass of water, into M2 whole divided by KB into 1000. So we've been given the mass of water 500 grams. Okay, let's keep that in mind. Oops, scroll way down. Okay, so this is equal to delta TB is 0.37 Kelvin into 500 grams, because that's the mass of water, into molar mass of sucrose, which is 342 grams per mole, whole divided by Kb, which is 0.52 Kelvin kilogram per mole into 1000 grams per kilogram. Start with the units always. So kilogram, kilogram, Kelvin, Kelvin, gram, gram, which leaves, oh, actually, per mole and per mole also gets cancelled, so which leaves us with grams, which is exactly what we want to calculate. Um, so 0.37. So we get, when we simplify the numerator, we get 63,270 divided by the denominator gives us 520 grams. Okay, and this on simplification gives us 121.673 grams. So this is the mass of sucrose that needs to be added to 500 grams of water so that the boiling point of water becomes 100 degrees Celsius. So we started off, first of all, we had to calculate the amount of sucrose, essentially the value of W2. So first we converted the units from Celsius to Kelvin, and then calculated the value of delta TB. Again, if technically, if you substituted all these values without the units and just wrote this, you should be fine. But I just think that having it in Celsius is just wrong, which is why I did this. So I mean, since it's just going to be the difference of the two values and that's what we care about, technically it's okay. But I don't know. I think this is how it made sense in my head, and that's why I did it this way. And if you have a justification to keep it as it is, please let me know. I don't mind hearing to what you have to say. So we then calculated the value of N2, and then from that, we just substituted all these values into this equation and finally got 121.673 as the amount, or as the mass of sucrose that needs to be added to water at 750 millimeters of mercury so that it boils at 100 degrees Celsius. With that, we're done with this video. In the next one, we'll be continuing, and I think we have two more questions related, in text questions in this textbooks and in this textbook, oh, sorry, in this chapter, and we shall be done with that.